Have you ever had that daydream? You know, the one where you take your big idea from just a concept all the way to ringing the opening bell at the stock exchange. Well, there's a program out there that promises to make that exact dream a reality. It's called the ZenAI Startup to IPO Accelerator. And today, we're going to break down what they're offering and, more importantly, what they're asking for in return. And look, they do not mess around with their pitch. Right on the tin, the promise is huge. Transform your startup into a public company. We're not talking about just getting a little seed funding here. This is the whole shebang. It's an incredibly bold claim designed to catch your eye. But what does that actually mean if you're a founder?
So, how exactly does ZenAI plan on pulling this off? Let's dig into their roadmap and see what this A to Z journey really looks like.
What they're selling you on is this complete end-to-end package. The idea is that a founder can walk in with just a concept and, by following their track, walk out with a publicly traded company. It's billed as the ultimate all-in-one solution for anyone with massive ambitions.
Okay, that's a pretty grand claim, right? So what do you actually get for signing up? Let's unpack the resources ZenAI says they'll put on the table.
The first thing that just jumps right off the page is the money, or at least a number that looks like money, up to $350,000. That's a serious figure for any new company, for sure. But it's really important to understand how you get that value. It's not exactly a blank check.
See, this isn't a cash injection. It's up to 350 grand in cloud credits. Now, for a tech startup, especially one in AI, that is a total game changer. That can be your lifeblood. Throw in a bunch of partner discounts and a support window of 1 to 2 years, and you're looking at a pretty substantial runway of resources.
But, you know, any good accelerator is more than just credits and discounts. It's really about the people, the network, and the chance to get your name out there.
And ZenAI promises just that. They talk about direct mentorship from industry vets and comprehensive guidance through the whole IPO process. But then there's this. This is the real kicker. You get the opportunity to be featured on a reality TV show. Yeah, you heard that right. That's definitely not something you see in every accelerator program.
Now, the source material mentions that this mentorship is provided for something called fractional ownership. And if you haven't heard that term, it's pretty common. It just means that instead of paying your advisors a salary, you give them a small piece of your company, a little bit of equity, in exchange for their time and expertise. The bottom line is, this guidance isn't free.
So let's recap. You've got a path to an IPO, a mountain of credits, expert help, and even a potential spot on TV. It sounds like an incredible package. But you know there's always a catch, right? So what does it all cost?
And this is where things get really, really interesting, because the price for all this isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in something way more valuable to a founder: equity, a piece of the dream itself.
Take a look at this. This chart shows the proposed equity split. And right away, you can see the founder gets to keep 55% of their company, which means the other 45%, well, that goes to the accelerator and its partners. Let's break that down. ZenAI itself takes a 20% stake. An entity called the Connector gets 12.5%, and a partner university also gets 12.5%. You add all that up, and you're looking at a total program cost of 45% of your company. That is a massive, massive chunk of equity to give away before you've even gotten started.
So, let's put ourselves in the shoes of a founder for a second. You've seen the incredible promise, but now you've seen the staggering price. What do? This is the kind of decision that could absolutely make or break your entire venture.
Because this is what it all boils down to, right here. It's a massive trade-off. On one side, you have the promise, a huge boost in resources, expert guidance, public exposure. And on the other side, you have the price, 45% of your company. That's the deal on the table. And hey, if after all this you're brave enough to consider it, or maybe you just have a lot more questions, the program materials list Kirill Gorbounov as the person to talk to, and you can find him right there on LinkedIn.